Video games are literature. Everyone has experienced a story that has changed them in some way, shape, or form. It might have been a book like the Hunger Games series, back when the interest surrounding it was making its way to the big screen. Or maybe it was a comic book that told a fascinating version of beloved heroes. We all love a good Batman adventure. Or how about a TV series that told the tales of heroic soldiers born and trained to fight for their galaxy? The Clone Wars truly was an amazing series to grow up watching. Why not a game about a boy and a girl trying to find a place where they can belong in a world that covers over humanity's dark past? Yes, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 isn't as polished as most gems, but it still has a shine that is unlike any other that I know of. Storytelling is about teaching a message to the reader, the viewer, or the player. And it has the ability to create a connection between us and the characters we are following. Whether that be on the page or the screen, it's all about a means of conveying ideas and values to people through a lens that is different and unique. You start to relate yourself and connect with certain ideas and beliefs. It builds you as a person. Now, I found a story that I want to talk about with you. It's only because it got a remake this year that I was able to even experience it in the first place, in all its glory. I found myself in awe at every twist and turn. Its values and themes were not excessively shoved down your throat, and I just felt like I could easily relax and hang out in this world. Strap in, load your evokers, or we might stop by Hagakure if we have the time. It's time to explore Persona 3 Reload, and get to the top of this tower of struggle and experience in this breathtaking journey.
Persona! Harvey, go!
Come forth, Persona!
Persona!
Go forth! Confess Leia! This is my duty! Palladian! I need your help! Nemesis!
You're up, Caster! Here we go. Hey, it's
You little don't you dare!
You're finished!
I just wanted to come in before the video fully started and just say thank you so much for 767 subs off my first ever video. And that video also has 73,000 views. You guys are insane. Thank you so much. I'm at a loss for words. Right, I won't hold you up anymore. Enjoy. My first experience with the Persona series was with Persona 5 Royal, and I was hooked. And then I played both Strikers and Tactica, the spin-offs that came out afterwards. You could say that I was turning into quite a big fan. It got to the point where I'd even draw the Phantom Thieves logo on my schoolhouse whiteboard every day. That was 4 years ago. I did not know it was possible to feel old when I'm only 22. The series follows a non-linear path, meaning each title does not continue the previous story and opts to tell its own premise and surroundings instead of building upon what already exists, all the while maintaining unique concepts that exist within the series. These can include the iconic Velvet Room and its master Igor, your main character always being a high school transfer student, and obviously we cannot forget the most infamous part,
Persona!
Yes, Persona. The famous game mechanic that one character from Smash Bros. Uses.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
Persona is the name of a manifestation of the soul. You can call it a JoJo stand, but it's more complicated on how it activates. And it would be way too long of a discussion, and it would take up way too much time and not allow me to talk about the other stuff that I had planned for this video already. Persona 3 Reload is nothing like its future installments. Even though it is hailed as being the beginning of the much beloved playstyle of being a calendar sim and a dungeon crawling RPG, its story is considered to be the most impactful and down to earth in terms of reality and relativity in our day-to-day lives. You play as a fresh transfer student to the illustrious Gakukan High, located on an artificial island off the port of Osaka. When you arrive, everything feels weird. There's puddles of blood scattered everywhere. All power to the city is gone, and there is not a single person in sight. This is revealed to be the Dark Hour, a dangerous phenomenon in where time has a secret extra hour of the day that no one can experience or remember. You can also call it the perfect hell for Twitter users. You know, an area where no one cares about their opinion and no one's there to actually listen to them. After your first month at the new school, you're approached by members of a secret club in the school known as the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, or SEAS for short. In order to uncover all the secrets of the Dark Hour, you, alongside your new clubmates, will need to traverse Tartarus, a haunting and ginormous tower that only appears during the Dark Hour, and slowly fight your way to the top of the tower over the coming months. Each Persona installment brings with it a different theme. P5 embodies the will of rebellion, P4 focuses on the search of finding one's own truth. For Persona 3 Reload, it chooses to tackle the theme of accepting death. There are many motifs that are used to help personify that feeling of death. Tartarus itself is a great example, as it is actually derived from ancient Greek mythos. It is the name of the deepest realm of the underworld, where the souls of humanity wait to be judged by those who dwell below. Still unsure about all the meaning of death and all that? Well, whenever the Dark Hour takes over, anyone who could not perceive it are turned into coffins, shut off from the world during this time. If that's not enough for you, here's some icing for the cake. You summon your persona by putting a gun to your head. Have I made it clear yet? There is so much in terms of visual storytelling everywhere. Not only in the combat aspect, there is just as much, if not more, that takes place outside the Dark Hour and just in the life that you are living when you're not on a mission and hunting monsters. When you're exploring Gekkoukan High, Tatsumi Port Island, or Iwatodai, you get the chance to meet and interact with a variety of people that all come from different backgrounds of life, and each have different situations they are living through. And after a while, you start to notice that at one point or another, everyone you meet will at times express stress and fear in regards to loss, alongside the grief that can accompany it. Your track buddy Kaz is suffering from a dangerous leg injury and cannot bring himself to stop competing. The little girl near the shrine, Maiko, grieves over the news of her parents' sudden divorce. The old couple who run the bookshop in the strip mall open up about how they lost their son in a car accident and only want the high school to not ignore his legacy as a teacher there. Even the drunken monk you meet and get to know in the local nightclub opens up about how he ended up pushing his family away and has to live with the burden that it was all his fault. You see it, don't you? How pain and grief can influence us in so many different ways. There are 19 different stories that are available to you to engage and interact with. And by doing so, the game rewards you by granting you power when you next enter Tartarus. The clever message of how we can overcome hurdles together. Yeah, it's cheesy and corny, but it always will ring true at the end of the day. Now you're probably thinking, Stormer, this is cool and all, but your video title said that this game reveals your secret fears. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about in regards to that. Well, before we do that, I want to ask you this. What is your biggest and greatest fear? I'll give you a couple seconds to think. Alright, time's up. I'm guessing you either said heights, snakes, spiders, clowns, social interaction, or tight spaces. Or if you're Nux, you probably just said Fifi's chest, like you always do. If you chose none of the above, congrats! You have a fear that didn't pop into my head while writing this script. Except, there was something that stuck out to me while I was playing this game. Something that stuck out more than it ever should have. It might sound crazy, so I need you to grab your nearest theory hats and wear them tight. It was in the month of either December or January. There was a moment that caught me by surprise. It wasn't a crazy plot twist that shook everything, nor was it a boss fight that felt impossible. It was an interview, not just any interview. It was an interview about what your plans were after high school. This was not in Persona 5, nor was it in Persona 4. Trust me, I checked. So why is it included here in Persona 3 and not carried over into future titles? And why am I focusing on something so mundane and almost meaningless? Well, actually, that's what showed me my biggest fear. The fear of starting something new. Yeah, I'm serious. I know it sounds stupid, but it's something everyone has to face at least once in their life. We as humans don't normally like to change. We tend to wish that things would stay the same because it doesn't require the world to suddenly become more difficult. If nothing were to change, there would be no struggle. Everything continues the way it was. I think a moment like this happening suddenly while you're playing through the game serves as a gripping means to bring you back to reality, and out of the world you are living in. It serves as a perfect reminder that even parts of your own life will end in unique ways. Heck, school life is a perfect example. You spend it going to a set place, meeting and working alongside familiar people, Monday through Friday, on repeat, over and over again for 13 years. Until one day, it stops. All your exams are over. You and your cohort are kicked out. You've graduated. That part of your life that gave you meaning is over. I know one can argue that you counter this by planning for your future after high school, but planning it isn't the same as the execution. Nothing ever goes the way you want it to. I can use my own life as an example. My original plans after high school were that I thought I was going to go study in the field of music. I found my passion for writing very late into year 12 and was unsure if I could get a position to study it in the future. And if all else fails, I could just go join the defense force like my parents did. That was my plan. Except, I didn't get those offers to study music. And it was discovered that I was half blind, which meant I was not allowed to join the defense force. My plans fell apart. I had nothing. This is that fear of an ending I was talking about. We as humans fear the end of things and fear what is to come after it, even if we think we might know what it is. We as a species learn to tame the earth itself, yet we cannot control that which has not happened yet. So we fear it. And once you realize this, you begin to see how many people and how their fears all come back to that fear of the unknown. Your best friend Junpei? He's afraid he won't be able to achieve something with the life he was given by the girl he loves. How about Kazu's leg? He's afraid he may never be able to use it again once he wins that one championship he wants to prove himself in. Or how about the manager Yuko? She's afraid she'll never be able to utilize her talent and skills. Or how about Mitsuru, your club president? How will she run the Kirijo group once she's graduated? Will she be able to live up to her father's legacy? Or will she be responsible for the end of the world? The fear of the unknown and new beginnings is the perfect counterpart to the theme of death and loss, because not only do they work in tandem with one another, it allows us to perceive how we as people need to learn to change and evolve, whether that be by learning from those around us or from those who have entrusted the future to us. It's a beautiful cycle that everyone contributes to, something you wouldn't expect a 15-year-old game to teach. P3R was such an amazing experience that I never realized it could leave such an impact on not only myself, but allowed me to perceive the world in a new light. While there are a lot of more obvious nuances and themes on display, it is sometimes the simpler things that can send a bigger message. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering what happened to me after all my plans fell apart, right? So, I got an offer. I got an offer to study creative writing at my local university. Funny how things work out. I guess you could say that was my calling, because here I am, putting the stuff I've learned into making these videos for you guys. It's awesome. It's funny how life works, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was a fun and insightful experience from start to end. I know it's a very big shift from me talking about GOMG, but I've always wanted to talk about Persona in some way, and I figured this is the best way to do so. You already know what the other channels tell you to do. Leave a like, leave a comment. It lets me know what I can improve for further videos and what I could possibly talk about in the future. If you want to join in on the lunacy, there's a link in the description that can take you over to Sam's store, the community Discord I'm making. We're working on revamping it, but we'll get there eventually. If you want to get more content out of me than just these videos, I'm going to be starting a subathon over on Twitch an hour after I post this video live. Come join me as we traverse through the beautiful landscape that is the Xenoblade Chronicles. And don't you worry, there will be forfeits for select milestones, so there is an incentive to contribute. Right, now that I've said that, I gotta start planning out my next video. I think I know what I want it to be. It's a certain loser who's putting up with some really annoying people. That's just one of the many ideas I want to undertake. I hope you look forward to any that are coming in the future. With all that said, I'm Sam Stormer. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.